So I decided to learn how to play Aatrox, and I got the video idea from a YouTuber who had made a video on how he spent 10 hours learning Garen. So here's my version of this video, but for Aatrox, but I only played 5 games. So the first game I was placed against a Darius, and I kind of already had an idea of what Aatrox does, simply because if you play enough top lane, his abilities do become a part of your memory. So like his combo, his 3 Qs, the trap that pulls you, and then his E, which is a dash, and then of course his ult, which turns him into Hulk basically. I feel like he should have died right there, or at least while I was playing the match, but yeah, it turns out he lived. So me and my jungler, we attempted to take Herald, and Darius pulled up, and we showed him what's up. So shortly after, I returned back to lane, and freaking Darius decided to call his buddy Warwick, and I died. That kind of sucks. And then I returned back to lane again, and I died immediately. Fortunately, Echo showed up and he killed Darius. By this point, I had already lost laning phase. This game was kind of mid, to be honest, and I did end up getting carried, so there was not really a lot I could really do as Aatrox. I was just sitting there like a little cheerleader, but I ended up finishing the game with 4 kills and 6 deaths. So on to the next game. So for my second game, I was placed against a Viego top, and I was putting in work for the first like 4 minutes. He came back, and then Briar showed up. I followed Briar, and I basically got myself killed because I got sandwiched, and I quite literally overextended. I don't know how, but Viego won this fight, and as you can guess it, I lost laning phase again. If you guys have heard the phrase, if you're not ahead, you are behind, that's quite exactly what happened. But somehow, my team managed to win the game. So for game 3, I was placed against the Cannon, and 4 minutes into the game, I had already pushed the wave into his tower, and lo and behold, I had gotten ganked by Briar. Luckily, my Shaco was able to defend me, and I lived to see another day. I then bullied Cannon out of the lane, and he backed. Shaco pulled up, and he dropped Rift Herald. And I almost died to Cannon because he had already made his way back to the lane before we destroyed the tower. But once again, Shaco came and helped me. Me and Shaco continued to push the lane, and then Briar decided to ult onto us, and definitely regret that. Honestly, at this point, I probably should have backed. Kind of got kind of greedy or cocky, and I barely won the fight. I was half health, he was full, but it was so close. Like, I definitely probably should have died right there. You have slain an enemy. I continued pushing top lane, and Briar ulted me. Had she ulted 5 seconds earlier, she probably could have won the fight. You guys will see, this is probably like the best clip in this entire video. I got a double kill, and I think it was pretty nasty, to be honest. I also almost killed this Talia, but yeah, she ran away. And then they surrendered. So on to the next game. So on game 4, I was matched against a Poppy. And I was doing pretty good at the beginning of the laning phase because I had gotten first kill. But simply after that, the game just fell apart. My team as a collective just did so bad that it got to the point I just had to leave the game. So finally, game 5, I was placed against the Nasus, and not to spoil the rest of the game, but it was definitely better than the last one. So kind of like last game, I had gotten early game, 3 camp clear, or 3 minutes into the game, and I don't know how this Rengar didn't kill me, but luckily, again, my jungler came in clutch. I'd also like to mention this was a different jungler than the one in the last game. So I must be lucky. Because most of the time when you play top lane, I can tell you from experience, junglers usually on your team don't really help you. But that's from my experience. Then my Hecarim invaded his jungle. And then we killed the Rengar again. At this point, I think the Rengar had already lost his game. I mean, it's barely 10 minutes into the game and he's already died twice. Like, not a lot you can do there. And it appears that the Nasus had just quit and bailed on them, just like I did my last game. But that is kind of scummy though to do that, because it ruins the experience for the rest of your team, and also the opposing team, which just wants to have a fair game where it's a 5v5, not a uneven game. But as you can guess, we definitely won the game. So to finish the video up with the conclusion, I think Aatrox is broken if you can use him mechanically correctly. I would say that I failed to play him correctly mechanically at least, but he's a really strong champion and he has recently gotten buffed, so there's that. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like and subscribe.